Let's consider the features of Ruby. Ruby is a pure object-oriented language. Everything in Ruby is an object. This is how we define a class. Let's go through this. The class keyword defines a class. By defining a method inside this class, we are associating it with this class. The initialize method is what actually constructs the data structure. Every class must contain an initialize method. Street with @sign is an object variable. Similar to the key of hash, the @sign distinguishes @street as an object variable. Everything you create an object of the class address. This object will contain a @street variable. Let's use this class to create an address object. Address equals address.new. You can give an address there. That's it. Address is now an object of the address class address. Polymorphism. Polymorphism literally means having many forms. A polymorphism arises when a set of distinct classes share a common interface. Here in this example code, there are three classes called animal, dog and cat. Dog and cat classes are subclasses which inherits a superclass animal. After that, we can create dog and cat classes objects by giving reference from animal class. Encapsulation. The internal representation of each object is private. In this code, where we can create instances of the dog class by only from new methods. There are two objects, my dog and your dog. At the moment, these two dogs have no names. So the next thing I do is call the setName method to give them names. The representation is not visible and cannot be accessed directly from outside the object. Operations are the only way to access and modify the object representation. Inheritance. Inheritance is where a more specific kind of class is made from a more general one. Unlike other object-oriented languages, Ruby does not support for multiple inheritance. For instance, an employee is a kind of person, especially it's a person with an employee number. See this inheritance example. Ruby really makes inheritance easy. On the class time, you declare the child class as parent. In the child class initialize method, you call the parent's initializer by the super method. Because the parent data is initialized and available to the child, you need not redeclare accessor methods for parents' data. In other words, in child's, you need code only for data specific to the child. It's handy, intuitive, and smooth. Why people like Ruby? It's a pure object-oriented language. Am I being redundant? I don't think so. By this we mean that everything including primitive data types such as strings and integers is represented as constant, are treated as objects, so that a method may be invoked with. And it's a dynamic language. For people only familiar with more static languages such as C++ and Java, this is a significant concept leap. It means that methods and variables may be added and refined at runtime. It obviates the need for such features as C's conditional compilation and makes possible a sophisticated reflections API. This turn all allows programmers to become more self-aware, enabling runtime type information, detection of missing methods, hooks for detecting added methods, and so on. Ruby is related to Lisp and Smalltalk in this respect. Ruby is a multi-platform. It runs on Linux and other Unix variants. The variants Windows platforms, BOS, and even MS-DOS. It's a very high-level language. This is subject to debate because this term is not in widespread use, and its meaning is even more disputable than that of object-oriented programming. When I say this, I mean that Ruby can handle complex data structures and complex operations on them with relatively few instructions, in accordance with what some call the principle of least effort. It's a scripting language. Don't make the mistake of thinking it isn't powerful. Because of this, it's not a toy, it's a full-fledged language that happens to make it easy to do traditional scripting operations like running external programs, examining system resources, using pipes, capture output, and so on. and also it's thread capable. Thank you.